shoot the
This
dice.
is a full work triple D
Scared
connection.
money never made shit.
Leave out on the track.
In these streets, fuck around and lose your life.
My niggas hustling, so you know we fighting.
Bitch got a body on her, a body on her, and my pistol got a body on it, a body on it. Got the drugs and everybody want it.
Real life street stars. We in here with Bric Mason. What's up with it, bro?
Man, what's up, man? What's up? Glad to be here, man.
Man, for anybody who don't know you that's living under a rock, man, just give them a little background on where you come from and how long you been on the Dallas music scene.
Man, I was born on the dance floor of Club Blue. You know, I come from the Club Blue era. You know, I've been doing this music shit for damn near, officially, professionally for about 10 years. But ever since probably about 2002, it's been a part of my life, something I've always wanted to do. First, I was an artist. Gator Main taught me how to rap. Then I started kind of bouncing around, rolled with Tom Tom for a little bit, did everything he needed me to do, A&R projects, management, road management, kind of be his right hand to a lot of shit. And then I bounced outside of Texas, started working with artists like Smoke DZA, who does a lot of stuff on the Smokers Club scene, Currency, Jet Life people. Started working with Wiz and Taylor Gang a whole lot, and just kind of, started floating and finding my way in this shit, man, really.
Man, the scene that you have control over right now, you just mentioned that the Smoker Club, man, that scene is like one of the, you don't really know about it unless you're a part of it, but it's like one of the most prevalent and popular scenes. Do you prefer that over the trap scene, the trap music?
I don't know. I think it was I think taking the game I learned from the street scene in Dallas especially, it made it easier for me to kind of make my mark on that Smokers Club type scene. All they really look for is someone who knows how to put the things together, and the artists in that scene, the producers, the management in that scene, they're non-confrontational individuals. I'm not saying they pussy, but you don't really got to prove your street worth to a certain extent. You just got to be a creative individual, and they give a lot of people a lot of chances. I felt like I came in with a unique perspective to really, bring the game I got from Tom, bring the game I got from Dallas, and kind of, do it in a way that they hadn't really seen it done before as far as what I brought to the table. As far as it being easier, there's snake shit in any part of this game. But I did find it easier to really show who I was. More people gave opportunity. There's less hate. There's more love in that scene. There's a chance for everyone to kind of play themselves or do good, you know what I'm saying? It's an open market, and first and foremost, you gotta smoke good. So like me, when I used to smoke, being a good smoker, that put me in a certain category, with the Wiz Khalifas, with the Currencies, that, we on the same level as far as that's concerned about what we smoking. And, always, I done made so many great relationships over a blunt, over a joint. And, that be the root of it all, is just being a consistent human and, just being that same person every time you interact with somebody, man. And I think the smoker culture accepts that quicker. Like, you got to have a pretty solid resume as far as the trap scene and all that shit concerned, or you're going to get exposed, all that type of shit. So I think I brought a unique perspective to the game. I could thrive in that trap scene, that street scene. I come from that shit, but at the same time, like, I was embedded in the smoking culture too.
You used to talk about smoking. What do you prefer, joints, blunts, or dab?
Man, it's crazy. When I'm on probation right now, so I can't smoke shit. But man, when I did smoke, man, I'm infamous for being around Wiz and being the only person rolling the blunt. Really, I'm the only person in Taylor Gang that's allowed to smoke blunts. And you know, I'll smoke a joint with my partner. You know, all that type of shit. But like, we'll have some girls over, and a girl will get to rolling the blunt, and they'll be like, "Nah, Bric the only one that can smoke blunts. You can ask Bric if you can hit his blunt if you want to smoke a blunt." I prefer blunts. That's how I was raised. I was raised on Swisher Sweets. I can't roll a joint for shit. I got to stuff a cone. So I miss that blunt, man. You know, when I get off paper, that's the first thing I'm gonna do is roll me a Swisher, man.
Straight up.
Can you tell us one thing about Bric Mason that the people might not know?
Man, this is me, man. Like, I am the real motherfucking thing. Like I done put in a lot of work, man. This ain't just some guy up here trying to hit a lick. Like, what you see is what you get. I've had my hands in a lot of different pots. I've learned a lot of different parts of the game from you know, individuals that left their mark in this shit. And I feel like I'm an ambassador to a lot of this shit. And what people might not know about me is where I did come from, how I did come up, you know, and how much entrenched in the street life I am that made all this happen for me. You know, I brought that mentality over and really just made it happen as far as, you know, like what I'm trying to do next. I always kept that street life mentality. And you know, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy at the end of the day. Like, I got a lot of game, you know. I know when somebody trying to fuck with me or not. So it's just, you know, I got a lot of game. You know, I'm not just some goofy white boy, man. I've been around the block a few times, man.
Yeah, a lot of boys don't know that you was with Tum Tum in, you know, around them 350 days, and just give us a day in the life of Bric. You know, you said we talk about Club Blue. Just, you know, so just talk about it for a little bit,
bro.
For those
man,
who
look, this is what it used to be in Dallas. Like, you go to the club to fight. Like, we went to Club Blue to fight, you know, and you know we stunting, you know, like people taking pictures with their bankrolls and shit, you know, and all that shit. But back then, like, Club Blue, first you gonna hear music you ain't never heard before, which I don't think happens anymore in clubs too much. And second, I don't think too many people in this era seen a whole club fight each other. That shit was crazy, man, like crazy. I done seen fights in clubs go on for goddamn 15, 20 minutes. And that's just part of what we was raised around. It's what we were accustomed to out here. And that's, you know, that's how a lot of people got their stripes, man. You know, like, I met Tom probably during his Caprice music run. Before that, you know, I was in Club Blue, you know, 02, 03. And, you know, I'm rolling with my people off of Ewan Avenue. And, you know, we hustlers, we players. We weren't really trying to just fight like that. We found ourselves in a few altercations just because that's how that shit was, you know. And the culture that came around it, you know, I think that the Club Blue culture birthed the boogie movement because it went from one extreme to the other, you know. First person I ever seen hit the boogie was Big Los, Free Big Los. Big Los, 300-something pounds. I seen him on stage at a Lil Joe concert hitting the Dougie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first person I ever saw hit that shit. Now, he wasn't moving like these kids move, but he was, you know, doing all that. That's the first person I ever saw. And then, you know, Lil Joe took off with it, you know, and those Club Blue eras brought a lot of swag. You know what I'm saying? You hit the parking lot, you know what I'm saying? Now these cops make you leave. You got to run to your car and get the hell out of there. But back then, you know, the parking lot was damn near the after hours in itself.
Yeah, pull out them slabs.
Yeah, man. I remember my partner Money Montreal used to have his drop top with dollar bills in the paint job. You know what I'm saying? He brought that bitch out for the parking lot. And there was many a nights where I didn't even go in Club Blue. I just be in the parking lot. You know, same thing with Gigi's and Start Club and all that, man. Like, it was a whole nother lifestyle, man. Man, I think I miss Gigi's more than anything, man.
Yeah,
that was such a play little spot.
Sometimes nigga didn't even go to the club for real, like you said, just went to the parking lot, pulled out the slab
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
Yeah, man. Gigi's was probably the first club
Sam's
I
Club.
smoked in, and I couldn't believe. Man, my big bro Nick, Free Nick, man, we roll a blunt. I'm like, we can smoke this in here. He looked at me like, man, come on, man. Like, and so it's just, I don't think fools really get that experience. Like the club definitely ain't the same. You know, Club One was another one, man, and DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
It's just shit. That was just the.
Rank your club experience. Like,
I
what,
feel
what's
like
the top three?
Yeah.
The top three club experience.
Man, I feel like Club Blue got the legacy. You know what I'm saying? DMX, man, DMX had the host because that bitch was so big.
Yeah.
And it was way off on the other side of town.
But
And
that
then,
dude used to
you
cut
know-
into like the Latina music for no reason. Like,
Oh, they would like, man, you would have to like, they would play like
And they
play
walk
like
in
an
circles.
hour of gangster shit, and then play like 15 minutes of cumbia and shit, man. That shit was crazy. But it gave you time to holler at the hoes. And then they made everybody walk the lap. You remember that? You couldn't stand in no spot. You had to hit the lap. They made people keep it moving, man. Yeah, that shit played a lot of the clubs played a key part in a lot of shit, man. I don't think it's the same experience no more, man. Everybody trying not to get their Balenciaga stepped on in this bitch now. Right. We was wearing Dickie suits and soldieries, man. We didn't give a fuck. We throwing that bitch away as soon as we leave the club anyway.
So how you feel like now, you know, like the boogie movement, it went on and now it's like it all changed and now it's they let you be yourself now. You know, you didn't have to come to the DJs with no dance song.
Yeah.
But now it seems like motherfuckers talking about, you know, murder or hustle, and made the crime rate go up.
I mean, I think it's a lot of a lot of people trying to be something they not, and they get pushed to that brink where they feel like that's the choice they got to make. And you know, the internet, you know, the world star, you know, you seeing all these things that happen in other cities, and you feel like that's the way to do it. You kind of forget your identity in that. And you don't really realize that, like, you ain't got to take it that far. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do all that. Music has always inspired people to do things. I remember when Trap or Die, Thug Motivation came out. I'd have probably made more money in my life during that time just because it was so inspiring on that level. You know what I'm saying? So it just, you know, it's always been inspiration with the music. It's just what do you get from it? What do you gain from it? And I feel like the message is so blunt right now. It's so like, there's no way to, you know, like Jeezy say, you got to decode his rhymes. People who get it. And I don't feel like there's too much of that anymore. You know, people trying too hard to prove themselves when, you know, just be you, man. And if people fuck with that, they go fuck with it.
People don't really know how much you've done for the city, as far as, you know, the hip hop scene. Tell them about some of the artists that you done brought to the city, some of the big names.
You know, I had a pretty big hand in really making sure Post Malone did his thing in the very beginning stages of his rise during White Iverson.
Discovered Post Malone. I wanted to get at that, but he actually discovered Post Malone.
Yeah. You know, I helped with Tum Tum a whole lot. I got a lot of game from Tum Tum. Tum was the one I was around that really taught me how to, you know, do a studio session correctly, make music correctly, the composition of an album, managing side, you know, learning how to book shows, learning how to talk to these promoters, features, you know. And Tom really gave me the rap hustle, you know. So he really showed me how to do this rap hustle and do it correctly, you know what I'm saying, and stay relevant, you know. Shit, to this day, Tom still, he ain't got no job. This rap shit is what pay him to this day, and it pay him well to this day right now. And that is just a testament to his hustle. You know what I'm saying? This rap hustle is a real way of life if you do it right. Don't fuck nobody over. You know, stay consistent. Keep it on a level where it's business, and people know you about your business and like that. And the first person to ever put me on was Gator Man, way back. He taught me. He used to sit me down and with poetry books and teach me how to count bars, teach me how to rap and all that shit. And it really just wasn't the route I wound up going. But shit, I mean, we was with the label that wanted to sign me before I even rapped a single rap, just off of the aura that Gator had gave me as far as my swag and my appearance. And I remember a lot of people, we would go to these networking opportunities, and a lot of people would be like, shit, if you know, looking like you look with Gator helping you rap, like, I want in. Like, what's up? And, like, that shit was kind of, I think I blocked my blessing a lot. I got into a lot of trouble, and it just steered me down a different path. But, you know, I've been in Dallas a whole lot, man, and this is the crib. So, you know, I've been around a lot of this shit, seeing a lot of people come and go, and luckily I've gotten with a few individuals here for the long haul that stick around.
How do you feel about the Dallas-Fort Worth music scene right now?
Shit, Fort Worth killing it. Killing. It makes me so happy that people are able to get money in this bitch. You know, you got your Smurfs. You know, me and Smurf, I've been knowing Smurf 10, 12 years, come from the same area. You know what I'm saying? It blew my mind when I found out Smurf was rapping. But that's Smurf. That's been Smurf. You know, Mr. My Turn My Way. You know, that's another one. It's just like seeing people being able to make money in this promotion game, in this rap game in Dallas-Fort Worth, crazy. You got Go Yayo. I ain't really had the opportunity to meet him yet. I'm looking forward to that opportunity. Seeing him go crazy. And then Dallas, you know, the Maserati Ye's, Trap Boy Freddy's, even cats like C Strugs. You know, like, it's deep right now, and everybody is knowing how to. It's finally to the point now where people know what they're doing, and so it's getting done correctly. Ain't nobody playing themselves. Ain't nobody doing no dumb shit. They monetizing themselves. They knowing how to get to the paper, and that shit, man, that's beautiful. I think it's way past overdue. You know, for the longest time in the Metroplex, we didn't have a problem making sure the money there along with the talent, and now it's kind of hitting a peak, a pinnacle where the talent there and the money there. I'm pretty excited for the future, man. It's dope. It's real cool.
Tell us about what's the shadiest thing that happened to you in this game?
Man, somebody used my name to finesse a Waka Flocka show. Like, somebody said they was me, and they found somebody like in College Station or something that wanted the Waka Flocka show. And they told dude, yo, I'm Bric, you know, I'm Bric Flair, you know. And it wasn't. He had some Google voice number that was Atlanta area code. And 2 or 3 months later, I get an email saying, fuck you owe me money. And I'm like, what are you? Who are you? And all this type of stuff. And it was some dude, some promoter on College Station. He got finessed out of like something like 12 bands. So he wired somebody 12 bands for a Waka Flocka show. And they took off on him. They said it was me. And there's been plenty of, you know, janky promoter stories, you know, promoters, you know, paying, you know, Tom or somebody else I'm with for a show. And we pull up and there's motherfucking 2 cars in the parking lot and they trying to ask for their money back. Shit, we was in Killeen with Tom. There was we got into a fight on stage during the middle of the show. In Killeen, that shit on YouTube too, man. You can see me working a motherfucker. That shit was crazy. Shit, man. It's just, you know, it was a wild game, bro. Ain't nothing like this rap shit, man.
So, we were just recently talking about some of the hottest artists in Dallas, and you know, Post Malone is like one of the biggest right now, one of the most successful. And then one of the articles we just reading, he was not even repping Dallas. He was repping New York. Man,
let me tell everybody, right, let me clear the air. That shit was some dumbass bullshit XXL did. Post people had, we had nothing to do with that shit. Post management and record label both said thanks but no thanks when XXL offered to put them in the freshman list. And a lot of people don't know that come with the invoice. XXL be like, do you want to be on this? Well, we can get your artists on here, give us $5,000. And there'd be, you know, out of the 9 or 10 names that'd be on that list, 4 or 5 of them bitches are paid for by the following. And they advertise that shit to the labels. and you know, Post management always felt like we don't want him to be a new artist no more. You know, it's time for the next step, and we just said, you know, Post people said thanks but no thanks, and come to find out, they go ahead and put him in that little fan voting category, and they claim that if they did it, then everybody would say it was an oversight. How could you not include Post? Cool, all right, whatever. It's still some bullshit. But then they didn't go back and do fact checking. Had some dumbass intern probably look his Wikipedia page up, see where he was born at. And he was born in Syracuse, but he's been in Dallas since he was 10. So they probably put Syracuse not knowing different, you know. And that shit fucked with, that shit kind of, it caused a lot of waves because Post holds Dallas near and dear to his heart. He wearing a Dallas sports team jersey every time he go on stage.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, his dad worked for the fucking Cowboys. He's the biggest Cowboy fan for his age that I know. And so that shit kind of fucked with him a little bit because he understood what it looked like. And there's no real good way to fix that except for double XL saying, oh, we fucked up, which they'll never do. They'll never retract that shit. The best that Post can do is have him fix that shit. And I think they already did to where it says Dallas now. But, yeah, it's just, I feel like a lot of people jump to conclusions on that, you know, and all that type of shit. Man, Post was so happy that we made his first sold-out show be in Dallas. You know, his hometown show was his first sold-out show. And he reps Dallas. You listen to his interviews. He's on every interview talking about that's where he's from.
Do you think that it's kind of, cause see, I think it's petty that, you know, individuals will be so upset about, no matter where he repping, he's still a successful artist. I think people just want somebody to be from Dallas that's making it so bad.
It's kind of like when you, it's kind of like when people be like, you see an NFL player and you're like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. They want that, you know, they might be fifth cousins removed. They want to say, yeah, he's from Dallas. And there's a lot of pride and Texans have a lot of pride, and Dallas, we ain't never had our fair shake as far as the mainstream concerned. So like, I feel like a lot of people was hoping that brought attention to Dallas, when in fact, the only attention Dallas can get is what Dallas do. So that he can't make or break. One individual can't make or break Dallas. And, you know, you hear people all the time like, oh, he's not from Dallas, he's from Grapevine. Like, what the fuck that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Like, that's Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You know, like, I grew up in Louisville. I ain't from Dallas. No, fuck that. Because you can exit Ewan off 35 and go up a couple blocks, and I'll tell you all about me. Like, just because I had a house in Louisville, I ain't from Dallas no more. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I got 97214 tatted on me. So, like, I feel like people jump to conclusions a whole lot on that shit. They make it real specific, but real broad. When Dero was out, you hear people, oh, he from Lancaster. He's not from Dallas. Like, how the fuck that ain't Dallas? You know, so it's just like, people gonna say what they're gonna say. And that happen in every city. I'm sure there's somebody from motherfucking Louisville, and people in Louisville are like, he ain't from Louisville, he's from you know, it's just, it gonna happen. People are gonna find a way to say something, just to say something. There is a sense of pride, you know, involved, and that's cool. But I think, you know, people want to interject their opinion that it don't really matter, you know, in the long run. We trying to make world music. I'm from planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm making Earth music, man. And, you know, it's cool to rep Dallas. You know, I'm forever grateful for what Dallas does. Some people might not feel that tied to the city, and that's cool too, but can't change where a motherfucker from, man.
Have you smashed any famous bitches yet?
Man, you
and if you have, what are their names?
I done lucked up a few times, man. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done definitely lucked up a few times being around Wiz and them, man, catching up his table scraps, you feel me? Like, shit, like, when Wiz got single, when he was single again, this last time around, boy, it was shit. If you got problems if you couldn't grab something. you know, because they lining up, man. And it should be so funny because they, you know, and we know why you're here, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't even try to make it about, you know, I'm gonna wait for Wiz to choose you or not to choose you. And if he don't, come holler at me and we're going, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know, I ain't got no problem picking up his tail scraps because, like, in L.A., man, say them table scraps in L.A. be a whole turkey leg, you feel me?
Man, I heard some of the baddest bitches in the world are in L.A.
Man, some of the dumbest bitches, too, bro. But, shit, like, one thing I learned from living in different cities is, like, being from Dallas, that Southern hospitality go a lot. When I was living in New York, I used to get pussy off of open the door for. I would open the door at the deli, and they would be like, they would walk through the door and be like, wait a minute, who are you? Where are you from? Like, okay, yeah. Then they see the smile, and it just is a train. You gotta have some game. You can't just expect it when I have no game or whatever. But you know, like, it's lovely, bro. You know, being around Wiz, catching that shit. Man, there's a few on TV. You know who you are.
Have you ever got some trim that you was like, man, I think I'm gonna just keep this? I don't think I would.
Man, there was this one. I did fall in love with this one, man. And she was a stripper too, so that's like a double, like,
man.
I'm like, she was just cool, you know, and it was just
It
like,
be the ones that just don't do too much.
It was like, you know, like, you get done, and she done got the blunt rolled. She knew how to pour drink up. So I'm just like, yes. You know, like, I didn't have to explain. Like, I think she moved to LA, but she was like from Houston or New Orleans. She was from the South, so she knew how to rock. And that shit, man, you get kind of homesick in those big towns, man, because you used to a certain way of living. And so when that female come around and she do the right things, what we take for granted out here, that shit just shine through the clouds, man. So yeah, so it's cool, but I done learned to be a little bit more player, put my feelings to the side. I done been in a few situations where, you know, I didn't get my heart broken, no dumb shit, but it was just like, I might have did too much for the trim, you know what I'm saying?
Is it easy to do that when you got the money? Like, because when a nigga ain't really got it, that's how you get your heart broke. But
Man, looking back in all my years, man, I done got some of the best pussy when I was broke.
Right.
You ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Just fuck it. You know, I'm just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, it's definitely easier with that paper and not exactly just showing a bitch your bank account or no shit, just coming correct. It's easier to come correct. You know, you're more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I had a CLS 550 out in LA. You know, that shit was, you know, people see these girls in LA, they got an Uber everywhere. They ain't got no fucking car. They see you pulling up in this and you with Wiz and you got a Benz. That's what they looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that made it easier. But, like, you know, I think some of the best I done ever got and the longest, bro, like, ever was when I was broke, bro. When I was on my ass. Didn't have nothing to lose.
Do you be fucking with Hood Boss out there?
That's my fam. Me and Hood Boss actually lived together a certain period of time, man. In Dallas.
Ain't that crazy? Like, when you be successful, you go somewhere, you see another Dallas nigga.
Dog, bro. Hood, bro. Shout out to Hood, man. He done took it over the world, man. Like, he everywhere, and he do good by. He make Dallas look good, man. You know, he ain't no bum. He ain't on nobody couch and no shit. You know, he got his own shit. He coming correct around these big dogs in the industry, and that's rare. You know, you got a lot of people in this industry that are leeches, that are there because they ain't got nothing else. And when a guy like Hood come around, you know, he can tote his own note. You know, he got game. He gonna do whatever, you know, with you, and he gonna keep up with you. Man, that shit's appealing to these big dogs, you know, like Weezy and Chris. It's so natural for them to fuck with Hood Boss because Hood Boss really a star. You know what I'm saying? He been that guy. You know, he been that guy out here. And so they recognize that fact. They respect that shit. You know, and he good anywhere we go, man. I run into him backstage several times, you know, different concerts in LA, Vegas, New York. And we always just look each other like, damn. You know, it's crazy because me and Hood Boss was living together like my big homie, I just went to the feds. I didn't have shit. I had a fucking shitty ass apartment and a fucking Mitsubishi Lancer. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have shit. And Hood Boss was riding with me in that Lancer every day. And we was just trying to get it out the mud, man. So we have them moments where we look at each other like, yeah, bitch, like, can you believe this shit? You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, man. It's real cool.
What would you be doing if you were in the music industry right now?
You know, I really kind of I really like fashion a whole lot. You know, I like streetwear. I love shoes. I would probably be somewhat of an entrepreneur in some sort of aspect. I would like to say of the legal way, you know, through a clothing store or some shoes, you know, shoe store or something like that. But, you know, I've always been a guy to make ends meet. You know, in high school, like I went to a high school in Louisville. It was predominantly white, and I found the plug in Oak Cliff on the Reggie back in the day, you know. So, like, I was getting 3 or 4 times what it was worth, take it back to Louisville, you know. Or even in 4th grade, I used to sell drawings of NFL helmets. You know, like, I was just finding anything to get some money. I remember one time we had a homeboy working at Foot Locker when the Nike Shox first came out in high school. Then it had about goddamn 30, 40 Nike Shox, you know, per se. So it's just like I always found a way, man. And I always kind of had an entrepreneurial spirit about how I never really had no job. You know, I never really had no fucking allowance. You know what I'm saying? I think my dad bailed me out of jail one time in my whole life, and he said, "You on your own from here on out. Whatever you're gonna do it on yourself." So like I kind of took that as inspiration instead of like, fuck, you know, dad ain't fucking with me. No, it's kind of like, all right, let's do this shit then. Had a CD store, you know, like in College Station, Bryan area. When mixtapes were the thing to have, you know, like in when was that? Probably about 04, 05. So I always just found a way, man.
What's the most expensive pair of shoes you ever purchased that weren't designer?
Man, I got a pair of Jordan 1s. Them bitches cost $1,000. That's the stupidest thing I ever did, man. You know what $1,000 will get you, man? And I just did that shit on a whim. Some dumbass shit I'll never do again. And, you know, that.
Have you even wore them hoes?
Yeah, I see, that's one thing I wear them bitches, man. Like, you go to my Instagram, I was talking shit the other day. It was raining real bad. I wore my Balenciagas, talking about these are my rain shoes.
Right.
Just, what you gonna do? Like, for what? Why you gonna have them, man? You know what I'm saying? You gotta wear, especially shoes. You know, I can see like maybe some autographed pairs you don't wear no shit. Shoes are made to be worn, man. Food is made to be eaten, not taking pictures of on Instagram. Like, you supposed to eat that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wear my shit all the time.
Man, if there was one thing you could change about this Dallas as a whole, what would it be?
I would put a major record label office in the middle of this bitch on Main Street and give everybody that chance to walk through them doors and see what's really good instead of just wondering. And put people with, I would take everybody that's ever made money on the business side in this music game in Dallas, from Dallas. I would keep them in Dallas and keep the culture here. And I never would have shut down Deep Ellum. You know, if we remember, Club One was where a lot of this boogie shit was born from DJ Q. You know, DJ Q playing My Dougie in Club One. And they shut Deep Ellum down. They literally shut that bitch down in the middle of the boogie movement. For a long time, this scene didn't have a home base. And I think that was detrimental to the business side. You know, people would come and go, that no one really stayed. And you had to leave to go get money. And I would have kept the business side here. You know, some kind of way I would have made sure there was a structure set in place to where a motherfucking record label was in this bitch. Or mass media, anything that would bring more attention to what we doing now. You know, the money would already be made if that shit was here.
Tell the people about Bric's block party.
Man, it's something I came up with a couple of homies, Accomplice and Word Life, High Rollers, my partners. Shout out to High Rollers, man. They just I had violated my probation over the summer, man. I had dodged a big ass bullet with that shit, and I really needed, and I still am not really allowed to travel a whole lot until like November when I get off papers. And traveling is my bread and butter. That's where I would get out, touch the people, touch the artists I fuck with, all that shit. And with me not being able to travel, I needed a different avenue to do shit. I had a lot of success with the Post Malone Hometown Party. That's the first show I ever threw. I did a Currency show like in 2013 that did okay, but I always had kind of dabbled in being in the game, traveling with artists. I knew how a show was supposed to look. I knew what you're supposed to do. And I had some like marketing plans that I feel like were unique. And I just took that, and we were thinking about doing a show, me, Word Life, and Accomplice, and we put a show together, and it was all my homies. It was Chevy Woods, Starlito, High Rollers, Tom, Little Man. It was all people I fucked with. And so Accomplice was like, man, like, we need to call this bitch Bric something. Like, we need to do something like, this is a way for you to brand yourself while you sitting at the crib, and we need to figure this out. And so I just said Bric's Block Party. And they're like, hell yeah, that sounds dope. And we kind of started, planning things on the fly. The show was already booked, and we're like, let's call this bitch Bric's Block Party. And we made this kind of a brand. I took it down to South by Southwest this year. It was an official showcase at South by Southwest. I had Sosa Man, Starlito, Short Dog, a bunch of motherfuckers on that bitch down at South by, and it did real well. And so I'm gonna probably do that. Like, I'm probably gonna try to do like 3 or 4 Bric's Block Parties every year, and just like really make it like a tradition and make it bigger and bigger. And like, I've got a lot of game from like guys like Score+more, the guys that do Jambalaya and all those. Like, they support me. They want to help me with my shit. So like, it's just a good thing for me to do while I'm in Dallas. And it worked. It worked real well. And the theme that I used is I wanted to have artists come together that you normally wouldn't see in this market, more or less performing on the same ticket. And I always want to do something for the hustlers, do something for the smokers, do something for Dallas. I'm gonna keep that formula. Everyone on Block Party, you're gonna see something for the hustlers, something for the gangsters, something for the smokers, something for Dallas. That's my format for the Block Party. And I do it for the fans too. Like, I be wanting to do shit like have a motherfucking Madden tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, have shit in the fans. I make cups, handed out cups. My homie Burner, he has a vitamin drink company called Hemp 2.0. They always send down cases and cases for me to pass out of that shit. Hemp 2.0, it's like a hemp seed based vitamin drink. It tastes good as fuck too. So we always do something for the fans.
Reallyfe some shit, man. We
yeah, that shit. Shout out to Hemp 2.0, man. They fuck with it.
Drink that shit every day.
Yeah. The pineapple coconut, my favorite flavor. That shit fire, man.
What's Bric's favorite strip club in Dallas?
Shit. Of all time?
Of all time.
Peeping Toms.
Damn, that nigga said something.
Peeping Toms. Man, Peeping Toms. I have so many great memories in Peeping Toms. I done spent a couple New Year's Eves in Peeping Toms. Coming up second has to be Ecstasy. I fuck with Ecstasy. That's cool.
How much you done let go in Ecstasy?
Huh?
How much you done let go in Ecstasy?
Shit. I'm not too big on that, bro. But I'm gonna tell you, one night I was with like 3 or 4 chicks, bro. And this was recently when Future came the first time, like in October or some shit. I was with 3 or 4 chicks, and we get in. It's $40 a head to get in that bitch. I gotta look good, so I had just got a big ass check too that day too, so I was kind of celebrating. But I had like 3 or 4 chicks with me. Got them all in, spent motherfucking $200 trying to get in that bitch, and then I had to pay the doorman to get my little in. So Like let me bring my soda in. You know what I'm saying? And I done spent $200 at the door. Then getting inside that bitch, we need a table. That's another $200. So all of a sudden, before I didn't sit down and seen a piece of ass, I done spent $400 in this bitch. And then you got to get buckets of ice and the mixers and the food. I look up, I done spent damn near $600, and I ain't even got one single dollar bill yet. Like, I ain't got no ones yet. So I just said, fuck it, might as well make it a rack. You know, got 501. Just I don't even know how to throw money correctly. I just gave it to the girls to throw that shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the other side of the fence on that shit. Like, I'm sure, you know, I love supporting the strippers or whatever, but I just ain't really for the whole make it rain thing, man.
I know you be with them niggas who be like, when you see them get like 5, 10 bands, you ever be like, nigga, that's an investment on some.
Man, I think everything in weed terms. That's goddamn 3 pounds, bro. You know, like if you're gonna waste money, you know, that's shit. That's a cruiser and a pound. Like, what are you doing, bro? So like, I put everything in those terms, you know. And now it just kind of like be shit. Like, if motherfucker got 10 bands to throw in the club, that's amazing. Salute to you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's cool.
Could you quickly do some weed math?
Real quick, man. Real quick.
Can you eyeball it?
I do the finger test.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 1 finger across the bottom is a 7. 2 fingers about a half. 3 about 21. 4 about is it, man.
Already.
Yep.
Man, shit. Man, you got any shout outs?
Man, shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Reallyfe, appreciate it, man. Shout out all my fam, TBGs, DCC, Taylor Gang, Jet Life. Shout out my jeweler.
Yeah, man, you got some, man.
Shout out to my dentist.
Man, you know, I wasn't gonna say shit, but man, how you get mouth, man? That's stupid, man. How much? What's something like that costing for the average Joe? Want to just man?
These are permanent. First of all,
yeah.
They don't come out.
Yeah.
So these are permanents, man. I got the hookup on the price, but I had brought my own diamond. I had provided my own diamonds or whatever.
Yeah.
So but the jewelry itself, like, they came from Houston. Like, I think the surgery plus the jewelry, I think I'm right at like 20 bands.
20 bands.
20. Yeah.
And he only spent a rack in ecstasy. I salute you.
I should have spent. See, people want to talk about wasting money. I'm a fucking retard. I don't put 20 in my mouth.
Hey, bro, before I spend a band in ecstasy, I put 20 in my mouth. I give him fucking teeth.
The way I feel like, man, really,
Texas,
man, you know, I went on tour with Gates 2 years ago, man, and being around him, bro, he got his shit retarded, bro.
Man, his shit stupid.
Crazy, bro, crazy. Probably, like, I seen Baby's up close, and Baby's teeth look like one of these fucking lights.
Bro, I seen him in concert, and this was back when they was doing the summer jam, and you was sitting in the lawn.
Yeah,
I seen his shit from the lawn.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But Gates is up there, man. Gates
got the stupidest
top 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gates
so like, just being around him every day on tour, look, like it just grow on you, you know. And like I'm from Texas, you know. I want to make every time I talk, motherfuckers know I'm from Texas, you know. Like, and like they'll be like, "How much is your grill?" I'm like, this ain't no fucking grill, man. It ain't no pull out, press on. This shit. This is what we do in Texas, man. We keep our shit in.
Sure.
You know, shit, I went to Thanksgiving and Christmas with this shit. Hug grandma and everything with these motherfuckers, man.
What's the crazy shit grandma said? Man,
Grandma love everything I got going. My mom is the critic. Grandma,
man, that show look nice, baby.
she compared my teeth to her wedding ring. You know, like she's like, oh wow. She just, you know, my mom cried. I'm gonna come clean. My mom shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? She shed a tear, but she you know, she got over it, and you know, it's like a testament, you know, of, you know, the culture I love. You know what I'm saying? And it's you know, I'm about this shit. I live this shit every day, man, and I ain't afraid to hide it. you know. So $1 million mouthpiece, you know. So.
Straight up. Man, if they want to get in contact with you, book you for, you know what I'm saying, get you down there for some shows or whatever, how can they get in touch with y'all? Get in touch with artists?
My IG is Bric Mason without the K, so it's BRIC Mason. My Twitter is Mason Brick, spelled the same way because some asshole on Twitter already had Bric Mason and he got 1 follower and ain't tweeted yet, so fuck him. Everybody at Bric Mason on Twitter say fuck him. And you can at me on Twitter, Mason Brick, and say fuck me too. You know, fuck it. So, you know, just get at me, man. I fuck with who fuck with me. You know, I love this shit, man. I love Dallas. I ain't gonna be one of these motherfuckers that move to LA or New York when shit get going. I got an album coming out. I'm doing I got an album with Short Dog coming out called Authentic. I'm working on my own album on some DJ Khaled shit. I got some big shit on that coming. And I'm gonna be a motherfucker that stay in this bitch, bro. I'm gonna be driving down Ledbetter forever, man. I'm doing it for Dallas. I'm gonna bring it back here, man. I ain't gonna go to LA or New York or nowhere. I'm 3 hours away from the motherfuckers in the plane, so I'm cool being in Dallas. I love this shit here. I wouldn't change Dallas for nothing, man.
When you get when you get that big check, what you gonna get and drive down Ledbetter on?
Shit, a 96 Impala.
Straight up.
No, man. Shit. I don't really, man. I'm driving my dream car right now, man. I got this Raptor. I love this bitch. So I'll probably get a spaceship. You know what I'm saying? Something stupid, whatever the stupidest spaceship is at the time.
Right.
But I'm a big truck driver, man. I love that Raptor. You know what I really want to get is them big ass 18-wheel looking trucks.
Right.
That Pastor Troy used to have. I want to get one of them dumb bitches, man.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, and them bitches expensive too.
Man, I seen them tires, nigga.
them bitches about 150. So
you'll get that shit.
I'm a car guy, man. I would rather have a fleet than just one big stupid ass car. My partner Spitter just bought a Wraith. That whole look retarded, you know. That gonna inspire me to go get my Wraith money up and shit. So, you know, I probably if I get that big ass check, I probably spread it out. You know, give me a 96 Impala, give me that 59 Impala for the Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Do some slabs, get that Caprice for Dallas. You know, do all that type of shit, man.
Straight up, man. Bric, man, you are a real life street star. Bric Mason, Bric Flair. We do salute you, man. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it.